everything. Approval of the US stablecoin bill may lead to a sustained cryptocurrency boom. This is from Matt Hogan, CEO of Bitwise. He is now a Bitcoin guru. I fail to understand how the stablecoin bill benefits Bitcoin, since individuals will now be transferring value through stablecoins on all these other networks. It would really harm Bitcoin. However, I do think a lengthier cryptocurrency bull market will be sparked by the stablecoin bill, because I believe a utilities run is imminent. Others in Washington, however, are opposed to the idea of cryptocurrency advancing. Oh no, Rep Wars introduced a new bill to ban cryptocurrency. She is therefore attempting to halt Trump's actions. Trump's CryptoCon is more than just an investment fraud. Additionally, it's a risky backdoor for selling the highest foreign bidder influence over US policy. We all know that North Korea, China, or Russia might purchase Trump's cryptocurrency in order to obtain favors from the White House, according to Representative Maxine Waters. This comes from the woman who had feelings for Sam Bankman-Fried. Recall how she blew kisses at that guy just before FTX failed, and how they were allowing FTX to get away with it because he was returning to Washington to launder money. They admire Sam Bankman's freedom because of this, but don't care about Trump's coin. I'm sure he only wants innovation to advance. Hey, pay attention. If someone wants to invest in it, then so be it. These pointless bills are unnecessary in an attempt to impede the growth of cryptocurrency in the US. Crypto is the source of this. Eddy, the first American device to convert air into gasoline, is supported by Chris Larsen, chairman of Ripple. I'm serious. In New York City, it makes its debut. I think this is going to be fantastic if it works. However, I understand why Chris Larsen made this kind of investment. His entire focus is on the expanding and green agenda. He is a globalist as well. Chris Larsen supports the new global order. He is given a seat at the IMF for this reason. Ripple is associated with the World Economic Forum for this reason. This is a fantastic invention, in my opinion. This company was established in 2019. However, I'd love to see if it works and if it will help all Americans and foreigners. I think it's a terrific idea, since, let's be honest, no one wants to pay for such exorbitant petrol costs anymore. DeFi's future is exploding. The DeFi revolution in XRP is only getting started. They are discussing the arrival of yield generation for XRP. It was what everyone wanted. They desired the ability to use their XRP for their own purposes. And that's a good concept. That puts you on the way to incoming wave, liquidity, generational wealth, and passive income. On controlled exchanges, XRP has always had enormous liquidity. However, Flare brings that liquidity to the network. As billions of XRP value enters DeFi systems, picture the trading volumes, arbitrage opportunities, and capital efficiency. Opportunities for generational wealth creation will arise solely from the liquidity bootstrapping phase. Imagine if none of this XRP is ever sold. People are making passive money from it, and at the same time, demand is rising and there is a shortage. That's the wonderful thing about this. The fascinating part comes at the end of exponential expansion. XRP can communicate with the whole DeFi ecosystem, cross-chain bridges, sophisticated derivatives, and automated tactics thanks to Flare's architects. Every new protocol developed on top of Flare adds more than one feature. For all other protocols, it multiplies the potential. Instead of linear growth, we're looking at exponential growth. There is no better time than now. XRP's institutional adoption is speeding up. Clarity in regulations is increasing. Finally, we have the DeFi infrastructure in place to capitalize on that momentum. This is becoming the most significant opportunity of your life. That's what's happening at the moment. Blair is opening up many opportunities for money to be passed down across generations. Give Hugo Fillion a listen. We are preparing to essentially, everything is coming together, giving XRP holders the chance to operate as their own bank. I thought these posts were fantastic, and this is from Johnny Deaton. Let me show you both his and Matt Hamilton. When I got into the Uber in San Diego to head to the airport to pick up my daughter, a valet worker rushes over to unlock the door and says, "Thank you." "No, thank you," responds the valet. XRP to the moon occurs more frequently than most people realize. The dental surgeon asked me how high I thought Bitcoin would go this cycle after I had a tooth pulled last week. There is cryptocurrency everywhere. Says Matt Hamilton, "I entered Miami through immigration." "Why are you here?" an immigration officer asked. "I mentioned that I'm attending a conference." "For whom do you work?" "The Ripple." The XRP folks, eh? When's that going up, man? I've had that for a very long time. That was for years ago. Since then, I hope he has held. I'm hoping so, Johnny D. When I was strolling through New York City last year, this gentleman stopped me and said he wouldn't sell because he was angry about the SEC's corruption. He must be pleased that he did. I recall the one occasion I was at a gas station discussing XRP with the man behind the counter, and coincidentally, the Pepsi driver happened to be there and was discussing Pepsi stock. Did you ever consider turning that Pepsi stock into XRP? I asked. It was similar to 2021. He then returned and informed the gas station employee that he had purchased 10,000 XRP and sold his Pepsi stock. I spoke with the same guy once more a few weeks ago. I'm really happy right now. He tells the Pepsi driver, additionally, these events are random. You know, you're already in crypto because you're a crypto. That's really weird. Suddenly, someone else enters the cryptocurrency market and quickly makes a significant amount of money. And this pales in comparison to the direction that XRP is taking. Anybody that purchases XRP, even if they did it today, will be extremely glad they did so in the upcoming weeks, because it will see a parabolic run and be the subject of much discussion. It will be covered by the news media. All of a sudden, you'll hear cryptocurrency enthusiasts saying, I'm so glad I sold my Bitcoin and jumped into XRP before it really took off. This will be an amazing period, I'm telling you. In this run, I hope that each and every one of you achieve financial independence. I hope each and every one of you embarks on the journey to wealth for future generations. We are currently approaching passive income. And if someone receives passive income, consider it this way. You could relax, live off of that passive income, possibly leave your day job and simply keep reinvesting little amounts of money. Your passive income would increase concurrently. The future is going to be fantastic. This is breaking news from Kenny. The Bitwise and CoinShares XRP ETF Canary XRP Trust decision has been postponed by the US SEC. The deadline for these decisions should be this month, 26th, May 26, 2025. The next decision date, which they established for 21 shares in Franklin Templeton spot XRP ETFs, is probably June 17th, 2025. I anticipate that the price of XRP will rise on the day those spot ETFs become live. I'm predicting some upward movement on XRP, but not a huge candle. Tim McCaw, a CME executive, is lauding XRP for having a very compelling use case, and he created this video after an article in which he discussed this was published. However, you can now hear him say it aloud. ETFs around XRP will soon be available. We also looked at XRP, which has a really compelling use case and a similar tale. Quite different in that, as you may know, the XRP ledger's transactions settle in 3 to 5 seconds. With negligible expenses, they are handling 1,500